Hello. My name is Sadek Shahadu. I'm the West Africa Language Coordinator at Art and Feminism, and also the uh, Executive Director and Co-founder for the Guruune Wikimedians User Group. I'm also serving on the Wikimedia Language Diversity Hub as a steering committee member, and we are doing a research to discover how smaller languages in Africa are faring and how we can better understand some of the challenges they face and as well provide solutions for them. In this particular interview, I'll be interacting with members of the Guruune Wikimedia community, and we will be having a conversation around Guruune Language Incubator. So, before we start the interview, I would like to remind you that this video will be recorded, and also you try to speak as much as you can and be clear and concise so that everybody will understand you. Don't assume that people understand you as much as I do. So first of all, I would like you to introduce yourself, your name, your username, and the community that you belong.
Okay. My name is Daniel Abugre Anyorigya, and my Wikipedia username is Uprising Man. So uprising as a word and man as a word too. And I belong to the Guruune Wikimedia community, which is a sister group of the Guruune Wikimedia User Group. Yeah, here in Ghana, West Africa.
Excellent. So we will dive deeper into the conversation. First of all, my first question will be around warm up. Like basically, you tell us about your language and its state on the internet. So could you tell us more about the Guruune language and then its state on the internet?
Okay. Guruune, which other people refer to as Fafra, which we don't accept as the local language that I speak, and that's what we are digitizing on Wikipedia and its sister project. The state of Guruune on the internet is very poor. Sometimes you could say that it doesn't exist on the internet because the resources that are supposed to be there to educate you as an individual, as an indigene or a native, is not adequate, and sometimes none exist. You even have conversations with your younger siblings, and somebody come and ask you a question about, oh, we have a festival like this. Where can we get resources to even learn more about it? And there's little that they can get. And even it doesn't exist, even about funeral rites, marriage ceremony, and all these things. And not to make it as one body, because in Guruune we have various dialects. And these dialects are distinct but related. So on the internet, it's very low. But then we thank the leading people who had contributed their quota in digitizing the language and even making it examinable, so that we can even train more people to learn. So yeah, so far, Guruune is a language that is spoken in Upper East region of Ghana. It's also spoken in Togo. We also have the language spoken in Burkina Faso. So here you realize that this was an international language, as you could compare to Hausa. So Guruune is not related only to Upper East. So ladies and gentlemen, Guruune, as I would say, is a language spoken in West Africa.
Excellent. So my next question would be, can you describe how you became a contributor to Wikipedia?
Oh, this this is more like a memory. So this one sends me back to 2018. I was having a conversation with a colleague and a mentor who was convincing me to join the Wikipedia movement and was questioning why journalists are not supporting Wikipedians in populating the platform with African or Ghanaian literature. And then I'm a journalist. So she says, why don't you join Wikipedia so that you understand how it works? And in your line of duty, you're able to get some information for us. So that's how she convinced me to join Wikipedia. And I realized that that's true, because as journalists, we also go on the internet searching for information. And Wikipedia sometimes, or even most of the time, gives us some leading links and leading websites that we use that in our work. And from Wikipedia, we then transition to other places. And continuing in the same space, so Benedicta Nati, let me mention the name, Benedicta Nati, Joy Japan, Sadiq, who is seated here, and Shitobu, the cameraman behind us. So I've been around them a long time, and it's been insightful because they they brought their different perspectives about Wikipedia. Joy was doing more of the SDGs, which I'm also an environmentalist. So that also brought me insights. And then Benedicta, who was also in relation to climate change, brought those perspective of Wikipedia. Then Sadiq brought the perspective of the indigenous language. And I said, my language hasn't been digitized. So why don't I also do that for my language? And that's how the journey has been. So for the past 3 years now, I've realized that in all my life and everything I do, it could be also replicated in Wikipedia. And that's how I've been, trying to digitize various topics. And here we are today talking about Guruune. I didn't even know that we'd be having this interview here. Thank you.
Excellent. So my next question would be, maybe you should tell us why you are interested in this particular research. Why did you accept to be part of this research project?
Okay. In a bid to put Guruune on the map, I started digitizing Wikipedia and training more volunteers. That's why we have the Wikimedia, Guruune Wikimedia community. To be part of this is to tell the world about Guruune, the language, what it is, and who we are. I'm not happy when people refer to me as a Frafra, because that is not the language. That is not me. Frafra means Ofarafara. That means welcome or well done. So if you're calling me well done, I don't know how that will augur for you if I should call you well done I'll use well done as your language. So I accepted to also to this interview to specifically bring out the distinctions and tell the world about what Guruune is, who we are. And then today you realize that Guruune is not only about Upper East region here in Ghana, but then people from Togo, people from Burkina Faso, and that's how international we are.
Wonderful. My next question will be based on technical challenges or problems that you face as a community. But first of all, would you mind giving us a snippet or a process of writing a Wikipedia article in your language? So the Guruune Wikipedia, if you go onto the incubator, can you describe to us the process of writing a Wikipedia article on Guruune language?
Okay, the process. Now, first of all, we have the incubator, where we are developing the language. So simply get to the incubator, and when you go through, just scroll down. They have a section that's about languages that are currently in incubator, and you would see the Guruune incubator or Guruune Wikimedia. So you click on it, and that sends you into our incubator, because that's where we are working. And then on the interface, you would see various sections that's talking about recent changes and all that. And when you click on the main one and you go to Peraya, in English we say main page, but in Guruune, we have it as Peraya. Okay, so when you click on it, it sends you an interface where there's an option to create a new article. And that's where we proceed to create so many interesting articles, which you can't read. But then, as we progress in the incubator and we go live on Wikipedia, we'll be bringing Guruune, translating back into English. So that's how the process is in regards to Guruune incubator.
Great. And so how do you select an article to create on Wikipedia, especially the Guruune incubator? Can you tell us what sparks your interest in choosing an article to write on Wikipedia?
Okay. The interest. Now the community it has different people. So you have software developers, you have historians, you have students, you have doctors, you have teachers. No, it's a whole mixed group of professionals and different backgrounds. Now what happens here is that as a project team lead, we sometimes want to steer on how articles are created, but then we open it up for people to create their own articles. So sometimes in steering on what to create, we look out for what hasn't been written that much and what we have in our own language. I know oral tradition plays a greater role in our language here. And I know sometimes the information you have is not on the internet, but then we have it as oral tradition. So we write it in a text form and put on Wikipedia. For instance, at a point we had a competition that was about learn about my community, because we have communities in Upper East, in Burkina Faso, in Togo, which aren't on the internet. But then the various editors come from these communities. And through oral tradition, they have these knowledge. So why don't they write that and put on Wikipedia. And then also sometimes we also look back into the existing articles on Wikipedia English, that we bring those articles from English into Guruune. So sometimes we could have an article on the presidents, which is an existing article. So we use that, we translate into Guruune. And that's when we have issues about even terminologies, words, and even sparks up conversation about we even becoming creators of a new word in Guruune. So the whole Wikipedia bit about creating articles is that it's what inspires us is about what do we have in oral tradition that we don't have in text, and then also what is available on English Wikipedia that we can simply also bring onto the incubator, and our different interests as professionals too.
Wonderful. So in that case, I would like to know, how do you usually translate articles from another language or languages?
Yes, and for now we are stuck with English, translating from English into Guruune, and then also if there are other literature that we know of that has an English version, we also look at that and we bring that also into articles that we create.
Thank you. What are the major challenges, technical challenges for contributors on your language Wikipedia? For example, typing script or maybe keyboard and stuff like that. What are the major challenges in terms of technical, capacity?
Technical capacity. Interesting. The major challenge that we have, or let me say, some challenges that we have as a Guruune Wikimedia community, is that it's about the technical know-how. Okay, you having to break down the technicalities on Wikipedia, because sometimes you're editing as a visual editor, and sometimes
Okay, thank you so much for sharing with us the technical challenges that members of the Guruune Wikimedia community face. My next question will be on the devices that they use. What devices do people in your community use more often when they are contributing to Wikipedia?
oh, I would say mobile phone. And if you doubt me, just go into the incubator, you see it. Mobile phone, lots of the mobile phone. Second thing is the laptop, or the laptop. Let me put it that way. Yes.
In other words, are people creating articles more with their mobile phones than computer or laptop? Is that what you are saying?
Yes, more of them are creating with their mobile phone, and that also has its own challenge, because if you have the laptop, you'll be able to do some edits, and even the mobile phone, I can I can boldly say that the mobile phone is been a challenge, because some of them have to use other people's mobile phone to edit. They don't have the resources to get the mobile phone. Some of them are students at the school. Some of them are no, most of them are students, and some of them are now just trying to find ends meet. So that's a challenge that they have. Mobile phone basically, and the mobile phones, not that it even belongs to them. It belongs to someone else. So they log in, they edit, and they get back. They log out again. Some of them I see, because we meet them more often. They show us the books that they transcribe in. So they have to write it down, transcribe it in a written form. Then when they get the person's phone, they quickly type that written one into the phone, then publish it on an incubator. And that's a challenge that we see. It's not something that they are trying to feign it for us, because we even try to reach them on them via WhatsApp, even sometimes the phone, and it's a challenge. So that's what we have. And those who do with the laptops, these are they're accountable. They are just a few. And even some of us, the project team lead, that we use our laptops and phones to get these things done.
Okay, great. My next question will be: is your community active on other Wikimedia projects outside Wikipedia?
Yes, they are active. We slowly have them understood the Wikidata. We've also looked at the monuments bit, the heritage bit. That's looking at more cultural perspective, the cultural diversity, because these are also matters that concern them, and SDGs. So it's a whole mixed group, and as and when these things come up, they join. And I know some of them have even joined competitions that I wasn't aware of till they informed me about. Yeah, so and we love it that way, because we can't obviously bring everything to them, but they reaching out to other Wikipedia projects like Wikidata, Wikicommons, looking at even some of the activities that come up, Wiki Vibrant, looking at, there are a lot of them, but I can't mention all of them off it now. Yeah.
Great. So does your community reuse or have plans to reuse project materials outside Wikimedia projects?
Yes, and even as at now, we are doing that because um, the the resources are not on Wikipedia, like oral tradition. They are not on Wikipedia. The pronunciation of our names, I'll pronounce my name as Abugre. That pronunciation is not on Wikipedia. And that pronunciation might have been written in by a student through his research or by a lecturer through his research or her research. And that material will be used. And that's what we've been relying mostly on, the research works that have been done. Professor Vienso and the Dambo, the lady who also pioneered the Guruune. So all these literature we are looking at, even Adonga Yira, all these are individuals who are who are researchers in the community doing their bit, and we're using those materials to gather that to bring some information. And then also I mentioned oral tradition, and our older folks, they are resource people because oral tradition plays a greater role in our culture. So we interview them, we listen to them, and we do comparative analysis. As in, we pick what they say, we look at what the research has been done, then we look at, okay, this is the middle ground, and we put that also there. And we also have the Bible, the Guruune Bible that we use, and sometimes in our editing, because that's more of the standard language version that we are supposed to use.
Wow, so exciting. Now, I want to ask you questions relating to economic factors within your community and you as an individual. Could you tell us, do the economy or does the economy limit you from contributing to Wikipedia as an individual?
Yes, I would say that. Yes, because it's about committing personal resources, and it's about being on the internet. And we need bundle. You need a device, a good device to work with. And even let me speak as an ordinary editor before becoming as a project lead of a community. As an ordinary editor, if you've not gotten food to eat, you're not even thinking about the bundle to buy. So yes, economic challenges is true because the various networks charge very heavy to edit on Wikipedia, and sometimes you could even bundle for use a particular network. You do the bundle, and it's not working properly, and maybe you are participating in a competition, and you lose out because the network didn't work out. And these are personal resources that you use to commit to make them work. And sometimes too, you have to go out of your own means to interview people, to walk about. For instance, if you are doing Wiki Laos Monument and you're even doing something about culture, diversity, you need to travel to some places to take those pictures. And where are you going to get the money to do that? Because obviously Wikipedia has not really given you that money. So sometimes but when the support comes in, that is when you're able to build a much more greater community. And specifically as an indigenous community, we are building most of the things from the scratch. So you have to do some in-depth analysis. You have to be on the ground. Sometimes you even have to sleep there for a week or 2 days or so. And all these things are about resources. So if you're unable to, the resources, yeah, it's true. It's not adequate. I was not even there for you to go out there. And the editors, as a project community lead, there are people who have come with ideas which are worth pursuing. And if the resources are there, you'll be able to support them. Because some of the students go up there to research on some cultural things which are supposed to be on Wikipedia. For instance, something about marriage ceremony. And I mentioned that Guruune is there, but they are distinct, or there are various dialects. So those various dialects contribute to the Guruune. And if an individual from a particular community wants to undertake maybe a video session or a documentary about a community to put it on Wikipedia, the person needs a camera, needs so many devices, or not so many, but just some devices, needs money, needs accommodation, needs someone to make sure that it's properly done. And when the person comes, the person has to also train other people, because as and when people drop and new people come in, so resources to maintain the community and to even motivate them to continue editing is what sometimes is a challenge, or is mostly a challenge, because yes, you come to edit and they ask you, they don't have bundle to edit, and sometimes you have to commit your own personal resource. I've sent some people my own, like, money from my own account, because at the time we didn't have something to work on. So you send them money to say, oh, buy a bundle and edit. And how long can I continue doing that if about 20 of them which genuinely want to edit don't have, and others who want to edit but they don't have mobile phone? For instance, there's a username. Let me just mention it. Amorama. She's the lady I was talking about, that she writes on a paper, picks someone's phone, transcribe, and publish. And her phone has been a challenge for all this while. And I mean, there are about 2 or 3 people who are like her. And these are people who are active editors. Now, in case we are not able to support them and they withdraw, it will be difficult to get them back, because through other means they will know to get a mobile phone to do their own, to continue their life. So why then do you want to drag them into the project again, while they think that even if their phone gets spoiled, there's nothing to support them to get it done properly, to continue editing for the community? Yes.
Well done. Thank you so much for sharing all these inspiring stories with us. And I'm really excited about the enthusiasm within the community. I think that has answered my next question about the community and the economic challenges. That is well understood. And now I want you to tell me, can you estimate how much you use on monthly basis for data to contribute to Wikipedia?
How much I use? No, I don't think I do the calculations, no. Because you have to just keep buying the bundle and traveling every now and then. I think even in one travel, you spend like 200 cities. And you have to sometimes go and get a projector. That's even traveling. Sometimes I've done one-on-one training so many a time and countless times. To estimate the amount, honestly, even if I take data bundle, if I don't spend less than 100 cities. Because if the person you're going to train doesn't have bundle, you need to support the person with the bundle. It's not that they are begging you for it, but that's the genuine concern they don't have. So you have to support. And even at your side, you do that. Other times too, it's about traveling. So if you're going to travel to a place, sometimes you have to meet them physically, because online, you do it for a long time. Sometimes you just need to meet them physically. Okay. And so even in a month, you estimate like 500 cities. 500 cities to try to get things done properly. Because I've met people at the various places, and it's only about the training. It's also about sometimes creating partnership for the Wikipedia community itself. So you might not see the editing, but then you're also looking at partnerships in order to support the group. I have personally got in contact with someone who said, "Oh, okay, I'm ready to support your community with these laptops, but we have maybe I don't know whether you can come in to train some of our colleagues and other things. Based on that, we could be able to support you." But here in the case, that couldn't work out. So we lost on that bit. You understand? So these are resources that are available for us to use. But the other challenge is that the money I spent, like 500 cedis in a month, that's even the least. Because there are some of them, they are more. We can't count them here. And we have to even buy. If you have forgotten the books, some of the books, you have to buy them. Like Guruune, I bought the dictionary and the glossary. I have to buy. The other members need to have it too. Yes.
Wonderful. I think that has also answered my question about if you get other support systems from external partners. And I'm happy to hear that some people are willing to support you to use their facilities like internet and mobile or laptop devices. The next question will be based on education and knowledge. Can you describe the level of literacy, educational level among your community members?
Yeah, literacy level, it's quite high. I think maybe on the average on the community would be the average could be SHS.
Okay, thank you so much. It's been an interesting conversation. So my next question will be, do you have like existing or plan collaboration with other institutions? If so, can you share with us some of the collaborations you have done or you plan to have?
Okay. Yes, we have an existing collaboration, or we are planning on that, and it's with University of Education Winneba, the Jumako campus, and we are looking at the language department, specifically the Guruune students, and we are in talks now, working on it with Professor Vianso and then the department head to get the students, or even get Wikipedia as a non-scoring course on that, and to make it as part of their training, that every now and then, every new student, Guruune student that comes, the person automatically learns about Wikipedia and contributes to the platform, because they have these materials, but they keep them on the shelves. So why don't you put on Wikipedia instead?
Wonderful. So, does your community participate in Wikimedia events outside what you already do? For example, hackathons, Wikimania, or Wiki Indaba?
Yes. We do. The links are shared on the platform. No, initially I mentioned that some of them even participate in competitions that I'm not even aware of, and they prompt me that they need some. They want to know how to navigate around, and that's it. Yeah, they participate in that. Wikindaba, yes. Wikimania, yes. We even had a satellite pre-Wikimedia conference at the Jumako campus, and yes, we even had students from the Dagari part, and they are joining us soon. Yeah.
Okay, so can you also describe how your community has developed over the last few years? What are the top priorities for you in the future?
Our first priority is to go live on Wikipedia. That's our first priority. The accompanying priorities here is to um, resource the community with enough, just considerably enough digital devices to assist the work, and then materials to accompany them, because that's what we need. The materials are not there, and they need those ones, and also getting financial support to facilitate the process. And the financial support is what is impeding some of the research that could have been brought in to populate the incubator and others. Yes.
Wonderful. Is there any other thing you would like to share that wasn't captured in this interview? Just less than 1 minute.
What wasn't captured? I think the bit about emphasizing on the indigenous languages and not looking at English as the main priority. I don't want to share this bit, but I'm forced to, because that wasn't added, about our frustrations on the English Wikipedia, which is sometimes very brutal. And you have no editors or administrators coming in to gag you or control you to do something. But here in the indigenous communities, these are people who are sharing their knowledge, and you know honestly that these are people committing their resources. And I think the Wikipedia should put more focus and strength into the indigenous community, because they have a lot. And if we are able to support the indigenous community to get the knowledge out there, this knowledge will also be the same thing put in on into the English Wikipedia. Okay, so that is what I would advise. And one thing, the IP blocks, we are not honestly happy with this, because if yes, we don't have to be always there to say, okay, send us your username and let's see how we send it to the individuals or appeal or go through this. We would advise that the IP block needs to be worked on, so that they don't block people unnecessarily, because people are committing their own personal resources. The person bundles with the little that he or she has, then that particular network is blocked. The person can't edit. Now the person will be discouraged. And I have lots of them who have been discouraged because in a whole 2 months, they can't edit because they have an IP block. So IP block, which wasn't captured, honestly, needs to be worked on.
All right, just to wrap up, I also want you to tell me, in order of importance, what are the top 3 challenges that you face as a community?
First of all is the technical, or let me say the digital resource for them to work with, because that's obviously that's the biggest challenge that we have. One is the digital resources. Two is the spaces, the physical spaces, and well, let me say physical spaces. Let me put it as financial assistance needed to push or to get some things done in the community. The third one is the literature that we need, and that's one of our biggest challenges, because people translating from English to Guruune, meanwhile their own communities, there's little literature on them, and they don't even know about themselves, and the only thing they know is that they come from this house, and that ends it. So I think that if the Wikimedia Foundation can look into that, to say, in a bit to support indigenous communities, because they have little literature on themselves. For instance, like Guruune, not all indigenous communities have little literature. Some of them have lots of them, but there are some who are extinct, so they have little on them. And I think if Wikipedia can allocate resources, and which are indigenously for the indigenous communities, at addressing their needs, I think that will work best for us. So first of all, we have the digital stuff, we have also the financial assistance, and third, we have the literature bit, which is crippling how these edits go.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. This is the end of the conversation, and I'm really excited to learn more about your community and all the wonderful works that you've done. Being in the incubator and translating all the most commonly used messages. It's been inspiring to learn about the challenges and how you are trying in your own way to navigate through these challenges and the kind of support that you need. This is something that will be very well noted, and we look forward to engaging you more and also support you as you grow your community. Thank you so much. My name is Sadek Shahadu. I am the West African Language Coordinator at Art and Feminism, and also a steering committee member for the Wikimedia Language Diversity Hub. Thank you. Bye-bye.